So, what does it really mean to be a good man today? We're going to dive into a framework that's not about performance, but about building a life that's truly authentic and, fulfilling.
The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius just nailed this thousands of years ago. It's not a debate prompt, it's a call to action. It kind of tells us that deep down we already know the answer. The real challenge isn't figuring it all out, it's just doing it.
Right? And that's the million-dollar question. If we're supposed to stop arguing and start doing, what exactly are we supposed to be doing? This is where a lot of us get tripped up.
To find that answer, we first have to talk about a really common trap. It's this idea that masculinity is some kind of performance you put on for other people, instead of something you just are.
Okay, check out this story. It illustrates this perfectly. Picture this, a huge Tony Robbins event, thousands of people watching. 30 guys get called up on stage for a dance-off. And the challenge? To prove who is the most masculine.
So one of the guys on stage had actually studied this stuff. He had a strategy. He knew that real masculinity wasn't about, ripping your shirt off and acting all tough. It's about being grounded. So he just got up there and vibed with the music. And guess what? It worked. He became a finalist. The crowd loved him. He was thinking, I'm going to win this thing.
But then Tony Robbins hits them with the punchline. He reveals the whole thing was a test. And the twist? The very act of getting on stage to prove you're masculine meant you'd already failed. A man who's actually secure in himself feels zero need to perform for the approval of a bunch of strangers.
Okay, so if it's not about putting on a show, what is it about? Let's dig into a much healthier, more grounded way to think about what it means to be a man.
So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, it all starts with responsibility. A healthy man isn't a liability. The people in his life actually feel safer and better because he's around. He has a vision, a purpose. He's living his life by design, actively building something, not just reacting to whatever life throws at it.
I love how Dr. Robert Glover puts it. It's this amazing mix of being comfortable with who you are, having a clear direction, and, this is so important, actually enjoying the ride. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present and really engaged with your own life. All right, now this next part might sound a little backward, but honestly, one of the greatest strengths you can possibly have is the one thing we're all taught to hide: vulnerability.
I mean, think about it. If you're always playing a character, always wearing this mask that says, I've got it all together, then who are people really loving? Any love or respect you get is going to feel hollow, because deep down, you'll always be thinking, man, if they knew the real me, they'd be gone in a second.
This story just drives the point home perfectly. A guy who, from the outside, seemed to have it all. Great job, family, looked like a movie star. He pulls his best friends aside one day, and with tears in his eyes, he admits he's terrified he's not worthy of being a dad. In that moment of pure, raw vulnerability, his friends didn't see weakness. They saw him, and they loved him more than ever. And being vulnerable like that is the ultimate antidote to one of the most toxic forces in our lives: shame. To really grow, we have to be willing to drag it out into the light.
First, let's get really clear on the difference here. Guilt is when you feel bad about something you did. And you know what? That can be useful. It can lead to change. Shame is totally different. Shame is the feeling that you, at your core, are bad. It's an attack on your very identity, and it's paralyzing.
Shame gets all its power from secrecy. It's like this little monster that grows in the dark. It whispers in your ear that your struggles, your fears, your screw-ups, they're unique to you. It convinces you that if anyone knew the truth, you'd be cast out. But the real truth, we are all dealing with the same stuff.
So how do we break out of this cycle? How do we actually do the work? Well, here's a practical 5-step framework that can lead to some real lasting change. Okay, so here's how it works. Step 1 is taking a moral stand. This just means being radically honest. You look in the mirror and you say, this is where I am, and this is not where I want to be anymore. Simple, but powerful. Then comes step 2, behavior change. You pick a new action, a better way, and you do it. But we all know that's hard, which is why the next 3 are absolutely critical. Number 3 is accountability. You need someone who's going to hold your feet to the fire, who won't let you slide. 4 is support. This is your crew, the people who have your back when you fall down, because you will fall down. And finally, number 5, mentorship. Finding someone who's already walked the path and can show you the way.
This quote, man, it comes from a group of guys climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. One of them, a military vet with one leg, is only 600 feet from the top and he's about to quit. He's totally spent. But his friend, his support system, looks at him and says, I don't care if you're done. We're going to carry your ass. That, right there, that's what real support looks like in action.
All of this work, the honesty, the vulnerability, the support, it all points towards a different kind of finish line. It's not just about what we typically think of as success.
And we'll end with another perfect quote from Tony Robbins. You can get everything society tells you to chase, the money, the status, all of it. But if you're not fulfilled, if you don't actually wake up and enjoy your own life, then what was the point? It's the ultimate failure. You traded the real prize for the shiny object that was supposed to get you there.
So let's just leave it with this one question. When you strip everything else away, this is the only metric that truly matters. Forget the scorecards and what other people think for a second. The real question is, are you excited to wake up and be you? That's the goal. That's the win.